Welcome back to Piranha's Yams. It's still Steam Next Fest, June 2026. This is South of the March. This one I came across in a list of, like games you should try on Steam Next Fest. Because we're halfway through, people are starting to put out those long lists, and sometimes it's 40 games, 100 games you need to try. This one really caught my eye just with the art style and the visual novel. It says continue. I haven't actually played it yet. I'm gonna hit new game. I kind of intentionally did not study up on this one. I was like, I just want to know, like, what's going on here. I saw a screenshot and a short description that drew me in. I was like, well, let's go. I'm super curious about self-voicing control. What's that? Interesting. Okay. I'll go with normal difficulty. I have no idea what I'm in for. I'm so excited. The campsite. A howl rings out in the distance. From her seat in the dirt, Gemma looks up. In front of her, a campfire is beginning to die down, its flickering light less pronounced as the sun creeps up over the tree line. The night-long buzz of cicadas is just beginning to give way to the chirping of birds. Gemma has been awake for an hour already. It was a long night, sweaty and unrestful, full of bad dreams. She's relieved to see the sun. Just next to Gemma, Cyrus stirs in his bedroll. His eyes are closed, the light of the fire flickering on the top of his bald head. Clenches the fur-lined cloth close to his body as if cold, but the air is heavy and warm, even in April. It always feels that way in the older valley. Gemma looks toward the trees, one hand on the hilt of the sword on her belt. Nothing moves ahead, no branches breaking, no leaves crunching. She waits, then nudges Cyrus with her foot. Another howl rings out, and Cyrus's eyes open. He slides out of the bedroll, already dressed, and glances at Gemma before reaching for the axe left propped on a log next to him. He looks toward the trees with her. Still nothing. He opens his mouth to speak, but she reaches out a finger to silence him. A few seconds pass, the pair waiting silently, before Cyrus pulls himself the rest of the way from the bedroll. He stands and rubs a hand across his head. Back to Cyrus. You heard that? I certainly did. You concerned? I don't know. We should get moving either way. Not one place in Eadmore that don't have wolves, Jim. I think we're okay. You shouldn't worry so much. It's different here. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's different. I've lived here almost as long as you have. When's the last time you even left Moskirk? I hear you. Whatever you want. Still have the request? Cyrus fishes through his pack, a hint of frustration on his face. Then he looks up at Gemma, head tilted and brows raised, a marked-up sheet of parchment in his hand. If you're going to worry this much, we should have just gone last night. So close as it is. I didn't want to show up in the dark. They may be on edge. They may be... I know. What's the name again? Camp Blackburn. Mr. Oswald Blackburn. Gemma feels the hilt of the sword on her belt, and checks her boots and the shield strapped to her back. She watches as Cyrus kicks dirt onto the last embers of the fire. Okay, let's go. Making contact. Find the client at Camp Blackburn. So let's look in the sleeping area. The boot prints and flattened patches of grass are still visible, but the bedrolls have been. Gemma checks once more, brushing some leaves aside with her heel and looking for anything she might have forgotten. She spots something. Hey, bandages! Yay! Go to campfire? Campfire is extinguished. A pile of dirt covering the ashes and bits of kindling that remain. Gemma kicks a bit more on just to be sure, and Cyrus looks at her, squinting, his mouth turned up in the slightest bit of a scowl. It's definitely out now. I don't feel like I need to Cyrus again. Let's move on. The woods. Oh, this music's amazing. An unnamed stretch of dense woodlands sits about a half-day's walk from the 14th leg of Alder's March. Paths have been carved out in recent years, settlements springing up around the closest population center of Middlegate, but there doesn't seem to be much this far out. dark green of the canopy shields everything from the summer sun overhead. The scent of decaying wood and crisp pine fills the air. Stakes crack and leaves rustle in the distance. A whole list, but just campsite over Forest Road. A dirt road leads on into the forest. It's well trodden, marked by footprints and ruts from wagon wheels, likely people coming and going from Camp Blackburn. Voices carry on the wind from somewhere nearby, and the sound of rushing water comes from just beyond the trees. Ahead, the road veers off a crossroads deep in the forest, but Gemma points past the detour. Further along, just barely within view, the trees give way to a bridge crossing the Den-Heald River. They're close. Then a rustling sound comes from somewhere behind them. Gemma turns, one hand on the hilt of her sword, and Cyrus looks with her. A cluster of oak trees just ahead blocks their view, but they both hear it. The crunch of dead leaves under feet, then slow, heavy, panting. A wolf emerges from the shadows, between the trees, head low, ears flat. It begins to growl as another follows, and another, fur-gray and matted, eyes narrow. Still growling, they start to circle around Gemma and Cyrus. Oh, I forgot that! Yes, I was in that tutorial. This is so cool! Basics. Combat in South of March is a turn-based strategy that rewards tactical planning and careful preparation. You control the party. Located on the right side of the screen as they face off against various enemies located on center and left. Turn order. Players and enemies take turns in the order displayed in the turn order bar on the left side of the screen, with the top entry representing the great turn. Turn order is randomized, though heavily influenced by each combatant's speed stat. Each combatant gets one turn before they can go again. There's no time limit to your turns before we can use through. For stats, HP and SP, 2 primary stats drive all action. HP, your hit points. Each combatant's remaining health. When it reaches 0, that combatant is dead. However, some skill and items can recover HP. Skill points, SP. Capacity to use skills. A small amount is recovered every time a combatant uses attack or loses HP. Ooh, there's a long tutorial. Alright, actions. On the 8 character's turn, you can use both 4 actions. Attack, skills, items, defend. This seems pretty standard for like turn-based stuff. So if you're comfortable with turn-based battles in video games, this is probably the huge. Critical turns. All combatants will periodically attend critical turn. With a critical turn, every action combatant takes, with the exception of using items, is enhanced. So each character's critical counter displays a countdown to the next critical turn. Plan your turns accordingly, make sure you have enough SP and use special skills. Upgrade critical turns to be identified by turn accounting for another bar. Status effects, skills, and items without status effects. Yeah, we got buffs, debuffs, damage over time. The huge, it seems. Then there's stress. As characters do battle, they also accumulate stress. For every 100 points of stress the character accumulates, shown in the top portion of the stress box, they incur a 10% penalty to all those stats shown in the bottom portion. Stress will not generally become a major issue in a single battle, but it is important to consider between battles when choosing how to recover. Some items can reduce stress even during battle. The best options are resting meals. Victory! Once all enemies have been defeated, victory is yours! Battle results appear. You get experience, coins, items, status effects are cleared afterwards, but you still lose your HP, your SP, and any added stress. That makes sense. So player menu, eat meals, rest. If you're defeated, you're dead. Go to the main menu. If you're stuck to side quest, yes, do a little rank grind. You can always change hardness and the difficulty of the settings. Cool. Ah! 100 with attack. Great. So it's me, so we go to that. Perfect, okay. Oh. She's about to get a special turn. Let's just kill that one. Special turn. So what is it again? Okay. Decision string. Oh. about the description. Oh well. I thought Precision Strike would increase my attack. Got some broken teeth and 4 coins. Gemma stares down at the slain wolves as she wipes the blood from her sword. It's nothing she hasn't faced before, but still, the sight makes her nervous. She can't remember what she dreamt about the night before, and the sight of red spattered across the dirt feels somehow familiar, freshly unsettling. She flinches as Cyrus pats her on the back, and looks up to see a sheepish expression on his face. Go to the menu. I want to heal her up a bit. Items. Clean bandages. Herbal tea, SP, drives a character, house camping, sold. Okay. Skills. Okay, now I can read about them. Raises defense. Wait, yeah, I thought I did precision strike, but I apparently did shield barrier, but I meant to do precision strike. I don't know what's going on there. Arm chop would have been a smart one. Huh. Oh well, okay. Let's talk to Cyrus. You don't have to say it. What? You're right, I get it. Emma looks at him confused and shakes her head. I'm not saying anything. What's wrong with you then? The look on your face. I don't know. I don't feel right this morning. Cyrus stares at her for a moment, then nods. They'll have food there. You should eat. To the crossroads. Emma looks down the path toward the crossroads deeper in the forest. She's curious, but she knows they should check in on Mr. Blackburn first. It's an established best practice at the guild, but more importantly, she'd never hear the end of it from Cyrus if they did something they weren't being paid to do. That's usually me in D&D games. Like, gang, we have a task. We do. Alright, the bridge. The trees give way to the Den-Hild River ahead. A ramshackle bridge, probably recently built, sways on the ropes that suspend it across the rushing water. The construction makes Gemma nervous, but it looks safe enough. 2 guards stand in front, each dressed in mail armor and half-helms, spears in hand and wooden round shields emblazoned with the heraldry of Westbridge Lumber Company. They nod as the duo approaches. I want to look at stuff first. So look at the river. The water is dark and brownish green, too far across and quick flowing to swim without some serious effort and risk. It's not uncommon to see fishing boats and travelers in the Den-Hild closer to the marsh, but this far out, one can walk a long way without seeing anybody else. Shields I want to know about. So each of the guards holds a wooden round shield painted with the heraldry of Westbridge Lumber Company, an ornate W with long serifs like flags. It's a common sight throughout Alder Valley, and even deep into Stoneford and North Lynn in recent years. Let's talk to the guards. You have business in the camp? We're from the Mosskirk Freelancers Guild. Mr. Blackburn should be waiting for us. First guard glances at the other, a nervous expression on his face. He sent for you? What did he say? I'd prefer to keep things between us and the client, if that's all the same. No offense intended. We're just curious, ma'am. And don't tell us anything either, don't ask. Again, the guard glances at his companion, then points his spear across the bridge. Okay, well, go ahead. Lovely. Move on. Camp Blackburn, let's go! Alright, Camp Blackburn. Nestled against the river is Camp Blackburn. It rests in a clearing still dotted with the stumps of felled trees, the earth well worn by boots and dragging logs. The sounds of chattering voices and rushing water are all around. The buildings look relatively new, log constructions with thatched roofs, and a roaring fire burns in the center of camp. A number of tired-looking laborers mill about, but none seem to be working. There's a strange tension in the air. Let's go to the camp center. At the center of camp is a roaring fire, a few logs and overturned buckets placed around it as seating. A trio of worn-looking laborers sit on one of them, close to the fire despite the already hot weather. They aren't saying much. Sitting alone on a bucket nearby is a fourth man, his expression blank as he stares at the fire and runs his hand across his black mustache. His clothes are clean and his boots look new. He taps one foot anxiously. As the party approaches, the lone man stands, suddenly alert. He reaches out a hand to shake and introduces himself, Mr. Osmond Blackburn, the founder of the camp. But his words are quick and terse. He makes pointed eye contact with each of them. The three laborers watch from their log, unintroduced. Gemma feels herself sweating next to the heat of the fire. The wind shifts, and the smoke wafts towards her, thick and gray. Let's talk to Mr. Blackburn. You two are the mercenaries from Moskirk? Freelancers, sir, and yes, we're here for the job. I won't pay until after. You understand that, right? That's standard. What did the guild tell you exactly? The trio of laborers glance at Gemma, making eye contact. She looks back, but doesn't say anything. Not much. A quick bleed and walk from what I read. Predator control, sir. What is it you've got out here? Mr. Blackburn is silent for a moment, hesitant. One of my boys, Everett, he found a cave north of here, across the river, out marking candidates. Yeah? He says he saw a... I'm not sure how to put this exactly. Mr. Blackburn looks at the trip of laborers, sighing, and then pulls Gemma and Cyrus aside, out of earshot of the others. A Darbairn, he called it. Is that Darbairn? A child of the old gods. Gemma and Cyrus look at each other, silent. Cyrus smiles. I know. The boy came back spooked, okay? That's all I can tell you. He was scared. Your guards couldn't check this out? No, that's why I sent for you, okay? No. This strikes me as... I said no. Look around. Do you see anybody working? You think I have a lot of pull right now? Nobody will move until I get this resolved. I need it done now. Cyrus opens his mouth to speak, but Gemma stops him. Does this request come from you by way of Westbridge Lumber Company, or from you personally? Me personally. I need to squash this fast, okay? Do you understand me? We understand. Like I said, the cave is up north. Head east from the crossroads. You'll get there eventually. Rest in the bunks if you need. I don't care, but be discreet. Discreet? I don't need anybody any more agitated around here. Gemma nods and they turn to leave, but Mr. Blackburn calls after them. Be careful on those forest paths. There's been some issues since work stopped. Okay. So let's ask around. I don't know. Bit warm out for a fire, isn't it? The wrong line of work, I'd say. These three sitting comfortable well past sunrise. One of the laborers scoffs at Cyrus, annoyed. Another looks up at Mr. Blackburn, who looks back at them. Cyrus seems to notice the silent exchange, then scrapes at the dirt with his boot. It's a joke. I don't mean any harm. One of the laborers nods, but none of them say anything. They'll leave you to it, then. Move on. Okay. Now we're gonna go talk to lots of people. Let's bunks. Toward the ends of camp, huge stacks of hewn lumber sit in the dirt, likely waiting to be rafted down the Den Hill to Middlegate or some other larger village. Scraps of bark and splintered wood litter the ground. A pair of guards, dressed in half-helms and chainmail, stand next to one of the stacks. Their spears are propped up against the lumber beside them. Westbridge emblazoned shields wedged in the dirt at their feet. One nods to the party as they approach. I got some flimsy wood. Stop reading everything. Good stuff. Talk to the guards. Got a couple other guards. Guards are antsy. The guard is like, oh, all you have to do is scout a cave? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Blackburn didn't tell us a whole lot. So, Kiddo Bombittle was in there for 3 days, came back ranting and raving, and then vanished again. Fun. Now I'm supposed to talk to Mr. Everett, but I also want to go to the hall. Number stacks, more guards, logs, spears, the usual guards. Be freelancer also. I might get a big boss in. I want to check out the blacksmith's hut. Kind of noodling around now. Here's these you. Blacksmith. Leg. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's a job. I can work on equipment. Let's get foraging. Yeah, shopping tutorial. Shopping. Huge. Plus equipment. Queens. I can't afford anything. I have 79 cents. Oh, and I need leather scraps and iron fragments. Okay, so yeah, so. Yeah. Alright. So, move on. Oh, a merchant wagon. Go. To the wagon. It's a merchant wagon. The merchant. Just a merchant, she's not with the company. Good times. Really happy with stuff. Up for items? Yes. Moves blade, moves poison. We love all that. Max HP plus 2. Speed 10 bandana. Tunic. Skill bonus. Giving supplies. I sell those broken teeth. Yay, I got a coin. I didn't have it. Nice even 80. Yeah, for the sake of the demo, I'm just gonna scoot right along. Check out the lumber stacks and then we'll go back to the camp center. I see the time. Just why I'm starting to scoot through a little more. Logs. Any money in the logs? No. Talk to the guards. Yeah, be careful out there. Don't do it. You have so much to live for. Cool. Back to the camp center. Need to talk to Blackburn. Like, yeah, so you left out some deets. Yeah. Yeah? Well, I mean... Look, it's weird you didn't say anything. You didn't say, like, Oh my god, my workers are totally going to exaggerate the story. So that. Also, that'd be weird if you said that. Then we'd be like, what are you hiding? Like, what do you... Your workers are saying? Yeah, that's between a rock and a hard place, so... Yeah, the boy's gone. Okay. Okay, in search of the cave. Let's get scooting. Just deeper in the forest. Okay. The path grows more faint as it leads into the forest, and the sounds of Denhill flowing is too distant to hear. Still, clear footprints mark the dirt here and there. Travelers have passed by recently. Gemma looks up and they're above the silence. The branches overhead crowd out the light of the sun. Crossroads. Onwards and upwards. So the path ahead, we got options. So east of the crossroads is what Mr. Blackburn said. One's coming for. Alright, let's do one more combat and then we'll call it good. I feel like we gotta. Okay. I should have healed up Cyrus thing. Ah, Cyrus! Okay, yeah, I was hoping that would take out one of the archers at least. Just don't touch Cyrus! Okay. I'm giving you some tokens. Eat it! There's some death. Ah! Yeah, he has a critical turn, so we're gonna level up, woo! Alright, got some cloth and some corn, and I leveled up. Nice. Cool beans, cool beans. Look at the bodies. Let's, look at the fallen tree. Horace Johnson. Got cash out of the tree and not the bodies. Talk to Cyrus. What's chicken, eggs, and bacon? Yeah, bad. Oh my god, the 3 crowns. These are old liners. They're around. So, old liners with those tattoos. Bad. Scary. Alright. Queens. It turns out I can go west. I'm so locked in. Like, this is so exciting. Alright, so what's to the west? Not a whole lot. Another step west, yeah, so we're gonna keep going west. Interesting stone mage. There's stuff. There's a weird voice. Spooky, spooky, spooky. And then we get to the ruins, and I'm going to end it here because we're at half an hour. This is Sickletail. So, yeah, this makes me think of, you know, this is a TTRPG, you know, this is like D&D, you have your little party, you're going on an adventure, you can choose what to do and what order to do it in. I love this art style. Oh, I love this art style. You know, old school storybook kind of. Oh, it's so good. I'm trying to think of the name of the game I played recently. I did a Let's Play on my channel, it was several months ago, not too recently, but, oh, I'm blanking on the name of the game, but it had a similar art style, that I'm just obsessed with. This is very cool. Yeah, this is, you know, cool turn-based, story, a big adventure. Oh, this is exciting. I'm really excited for this. As far as demos go, also I'm gonna go back to... I go back to the main screen. Alright, save. Title. Alright, we're just gonna go to title. So this is South of the March. Yeah, really fantastic stuff. So, you know, a wonderful, I feel like this was called a visual novel, but this is more what I would call an interactive book, and there is a shade of difference that if I had more time I would love to dig into it and really go for it. This is so cool. I love the art style. What a fascinating story. We're kicking off, you know, with something really interesting. The music is fun and different. You know, so often with TTRPGs, D&D stuff, you kind of get like the fakey Renaissance stuff, which is fun. It's a vibe. So getting this, like the rock with the sluggish electric guitars, it's so cool. As far as demo goes, I think this is just the start of it, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's throwing us, you know, it's going a little faster than usual just to make sure we get plenty of story and engagement and practice. It's hard to say. It didn't specify one way or another. Yeah, so if it's just the first part of the story, I actually would have preferred, like, scoot us along, you know, give me more in just the first 30 minutes, because I felt like I was embarking the story, and I'm like, oh, I can't get anywhere in 30 minutes. Which is great for a story. I want it to simmer. I want to get to know the characters. I want to get to know the vibe of the place I'm in. Like, I need all that scene setting. For a demo, just eat me in, you know? Yeah, this is definitely a very cool game. If this is your kind of thing, if you like D&D, you're gonna love this one. If you like, you know, interactive books in this way, I think this is gonna be a very, very cool one. As far as the demo goes, the demo's like, I don't know, 8 out of 10, because I would like it to actually go faster and show me more for the purpose of a demo. But all that said, yeah, very cool stuff. That has been South of the March. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.